ceases to be a dream for you. But the activity of the brain, you see, must be there. And so it is that is registered, you see, in these instruments. And anything you say is an interpretation of that, but not a fact often by it.
But there is also
So that is why all those fellows who are using this, what is it, what is it called, the graph of the graph.
yes, something like that.
See, you cannot say anything about it. These waves can indicate anything, you see, but you are already, you see, there observing certain things and interpreting their vibrations and say these are peaceful vibrations, these are not. So what actually meditation is doing is slowing down the thought. For what purpose?
Slowing down the thought.
For what purpose you are doing it? It does not mean that it is a blissful state at all. The peace is where there is a disturbance, a volcanic eruption. That is peace. It is a volcanic eruption there. When the thought is not there, what is there is something like a volcanic eruption. The energy is bursting forth like a tremendous river in space. And so if you say that this man is peaceful because these waves are slowed down here, he is joking and kidding himself and kidding you all. That is not the peace. You don't have to meditate. You give a drug, you see, you know that. In the hospital, they give you to slow down your thoughts.
To prove, what they have done is to prove, of course you must be knowing, to prove that dreaming is necessary for a man.
That is nonsense. That was Freudian rubbish.
Yes, they say it is necessary.
It is necessary.
No.
You have to sleep in order to dream.
So everybody is dreaming because so they conducted experiments.
What is dream?
They divided two groups, you see. I mean, let us talk like this.
Yes.
So they took about 50 people. They divided into two groups. One group, I mean, is having suppose 6 hours.
Are still interested in upholding the theories. Now I tell you, there was a documentary on the BBC recently. There are hundreds of people, not dozens of people who do not sleep at all.
Really?
Yes, they are not yogis, they are not Jivan Muktas, they are not any one of those people. They are as fresh as those who sleep 18 hours a day. It is puzzling the whole field of psychology. What is it that is happening?
They don't sleep at all.
They don't sleep at all. They are awake. They are working hard, working people.
They don't become sick.
Not saints, not Jivan Muktas, not any one of those things. You see, this they have not been able to solve this problem. Is sleep necessary? Sleep is not necessary. That's what I maintain. Not at all necessary. You say that it is necessary for you to dream. That's another nonsense they are talking. That's why they don't like me, the psychology. It undermines the very foundation on which they have built the whole psychological structure.
But why these people became restless next day?
Restless,
Who
even those who have slept 18 hours, they are restless.
No, but they said
The longer you
they were
sleep,
restless.
the longer you sleep, the more restless you are. So the sleep is not necessary at all.
Maybe they are all conditioned to such an extent.
What? You start with the assumption that the sleep is necessary. What is restlessness? Tell me. Huh?
Restlessness means
They could not manage their affairs next day.
What?
Without the slump period, you see, that particular dreaming. That is the testimony they have
You are
conducted.
dreaming while you are awake. You must have to accept that fact. That is why you are tired.
in what sense you say you are dreaming all the
Are you
time?
not tired?
Yes, very tired.
Yes, why you are tired? Why you are
Very
awake?
worn out.
Why? See, instead of a coffee break,
Yes.
what you need, you see, in these offices, is to provide you with beds. You stretch yourself for 2 minutes, you will be tremendously relaxed.
No, that's what I
You see,
said.
the body has to go through this process of dying. You see, you become weak, dull, stupid during the course of the day. So that's why you smoke, you take a cup of coffee, or you do something,
So always
force
become alert.
yourself to work. The body not interested in working at all. Needs this very frequent, you see, breaks. That is why we see it is slowing down. The sensory system is slowing
But
down.
artificially I'm pushing it again.
You artificially, even without that, you are using will and forcing yourself to do something. So it has got to go through this process of complete and total renewal of the body. I'm not saying if you are working in the office, you have to keep yourself awake. So it is this that is really created. So what I'm suggesting, instead of coffee break, you have some beds there. You go by turns, relax, stretch yourself.
But a small cat
For
nap.
a fraction of a second. That will completely and totally renew the body.
Yeah.
So while it is slowing down, you are using your will and effort to keep it away. For
And it is not possible, I drink coffee.
You drink coffee. I'm not
From-
saying anything against coffee.
No, artificially.
25 cups of coffee I was drinking every day.
No,
If
what
you
I'm
say that it is bad for
thinking-
your heart
No,
or for your
what I'm
body.
saying is artificially we are doing that.
I'm telling you.
Artificially we are doing that.
You are artificially pumping energy there.
Yes.
The body needs to go through this process of dying every now and then.
And because I'm not allowing it, is it also not hurting it,
It is hurting what?
the body?
Or hurting what?
Because I'm not allowing it to now and then have a rest or to go into almost a death-like.
You don't even have to stretch yourself on a bed.
Yes,
Sit
there
here
I
and have a cat nap and you feel tremendously
This
relaxed.
is true.
When you are tired sometimes, you see, you go,
suddenly you fall.
that's all, one fraction of a second.
Helps.
And you come out of that. And you are fully awake.
You know, I came my first previous day, on the day Saturday morning, I told you. At 11 o'clock I went to bed, night, I was sitting close to bed, I didn't have
Would
sleep.
it be possible to live without all these stimulants?
Just slightly you relax.
That is possible body.
There's enough.
To exist.
Again,
How
No, I'm not doing that. Is it possible biologically?
it's possible.
No.
The body does not need
They're not
these
doing that.
stimulants.
All the stimulants.
So since now you are used to these stimulants, there is no special charm in fight
Fighting these
habits.
habits.
Yes, there are no good habits and bad habits.
If it is fought, what will happen?
You create this struggle there.
In neurotic situation.
Neurotic situation. Wanting and not wanting. Two things there, that is neurotic.
At the same time.
At the same time.
It used to happen in our room, is it really, by Sas and myself. It is his room, it is my room. We will both go to bed only around 12 o'clock. We used to read a lot in those days. That's all.
Habit is. And you see, the life is organized. See, night and day.
Yes.
There may be night and day, I'm not denying that at all. There is night and day. So you force the children, you see, do they observe any night
No.
and day?
No.
Do they have a night and day?
We drive them, you see.
You force them. If they don't sleep, you give them opium or you do something, you push them.
Go
For
on.
your reasons. For your reasons,
Yes.
for your comfort, you force those children to fit into this pattern of yours which is created for your convenience. They
Yes.
wake up in the middle of the night and then play. And what about this poor mother who has to wake up in the morning and go to office? So she forces the child to sleep. So there is no such thing as a 24 rhythm for the body at all. A complete continuous rhythm. It has if you take the waves, you see, register these things, you will be surprised that it is not limited to your wakeful or sleeping or dreaming situation. So we have forcibly created this, you see, situation for ourselves. And so if you don't sleep, there is no such thing as insomnia also. Why should one sleep? When everybody around you is awake, you sleep. Or when everybody is sleeping around you, you cannot stay awake. See? So somebody came to see me, why should you sleep? Why? What for? Why do you go to the psychiatrist? He gives you sleeping. Don't take any sleeping pills. Don't sleep at all. So what do I do with my nights? You watch your television, you watch this. First, get out of this situation that you must sleep. Sleeping is not necessary for you at all. So when once this is understood that sleeping is not necessary, the question of insomnia ceases. Otherwise, you make this into it is a social problem and not a physiological problem.
What you will do 24 hours?
What will you do? You are not working for your livelihood anymore.
Yes.
Because you don't know what to do with yourself. That is why all those who retire suddenly without any hobby, they die.
Why is it not strange?
It
They
is
should be
strange.
happy
No.
No, they don't have.
that they did not work, that they have got accommodation, that they have got food.
You don't have anything to do.
They feel so
Doesn't
lonely.
matter. Does not matter, you should be happy.
Then what do you think? You retire and you will be surprised.
Now why does it happen? What is the real...
You have habits like reading your,
Sir, vertical escape. They want to be always busy.
It's
Yeah.
not just livelihood.
I saw many old people, 70 people in Delhi, they work after retirement in 15 years.
Yes.
No, but no,
He
what
said,
is
I can't,
That's why
I-
all those people,
Hmm.
Churchill and de Gaulle and that fellow there, Chancellor there in Germany, Adenauer, they are immediately after quitting their office.
Why is it so?
This suddenly you see change in their
That's the pattern of living and
style of life.
that is right.
So it is not necessarily for your livelihood that you work, but if you got into this rut there, you see, if you are freed from that, you are in trouble.
What about
But even, is it not strange? Why is two things at the same time?
Definitely.
I know that.
Yeah.
What means?
I had an argument with these freaks.
He himself said that, you see, the day I stop talking, that's the end of the... I'm also saying the same thing. The day I stop traveling, I drop dead.
But why are you so sure of that?
I'm sure.
Why?
Why will
That is
you-
a practical thing. You can't
Now,
be
you
sure.
see, I cannot stay in one place. It's not possible.
But all the places are the same.
You may say that. The bird, you see, why it doesn't stay in one place, it moves, goes away.
We should apply to all the entire humanity.
That also applies, you see, you do it. I'm not saying anything against you doing that. You are a stick in the mud here. You don't even want to leave this place,
Yes.
go anywhere.
Hmm.
Huh? So my way of life has been that all these years, 54 years of my life, I have never lived in any place for 6 months at a stretch. Even when I was married and the family was located, you see, I was out to traveling most of the time. Even in Chicago, she was staying there. I traveled all over the United States, South America, Canada, everywhere. So this body has gotten used to a certain rhythm, you see. So that's the only thing it does. If it cannot do that, if I am immobilized and the body cannot move, stay in the hospital, then that's a different matter. Otherwise, in the normal course of things, they both happen at the same time. As long as there is a breath of life in this body, so long this body will move. You see, you will be surprised as you sit here, if there is no thought, there is no movement. It becomes a stiff corpse.
Yes.
Corpse.
Yes.
Yes. Without thought, there is no movement. Our problem is not the thought. Thought and life are the same. Thought is action. See, but the activity ceases. Activity means the movement for the body. You see, the dog looks at you. You can have a one-way seminar.
Yes.
Only with the dogs. There's no questioning, nothing. Just listens to you. With rapt attention. Total aware attention. Total attention. How do you get that? So that's also, you are also like that, you just look at it. There is no movement at all. The thought is not there, you can't even move the fingers. Even in the reflex actions which those jokers are talking about, they don't have adequate knowledge yet. See, there is thought, otherwise there is no reflex action. They call it reflex action, imagining that there is no thought at all. Without thought, there is no movement of this body. The moment the thought stops, the death takes place immediately.
Then what is the source of the thought? What is the source of the thought?
The question is the source of the thought.
That is another thought.
That is the assumption that there is a thought, that there is a source. The question is the thought. So if it does not wait for an answer either from within or from without, that's the end of it. Or wait for an answer. But there is no source of thought. You can give a definition. I give you definitions, a lot of them. Thought is matter, thought is time, thought is space, thought is movement, thought is action.
It is not any impulse.
Huh?
It's not any impulse coming from any source, from within.
It's like the waves, the air waves, you had that picks up, the radio picks up. You see, the radio is the culture. It trains you.
Regarding the seeing process, which you were seeing, telling, it is because of the intervention of the thought you see. And suppose the eye is able to see of its own accord, thought is one.
There is no seeing then. There is no seeing. So that is why your philosopher said the seer and the seen are one. That's a metaphysical concept. See, you cannot say that this is the stimulus and this is the response. Because it's one unitary movement.
So what I want to say is, when the process of seeing, that the eye sees of its own accord, the thought is a
There is no seeing there, sir. No seeing at all. That's all that I'm saying.
So you are telling that the senses are working of their own accord.
Yes,
There is no intervention of
then
the
there is no
coordinator.
there is no seeing there. Huh?
And no hearer.
Huh?
Then if there is no seer, there is no hearer, or any of these five diagnostics.
No seer, no seeing without the seer, no perception without the perceiver, perceiving, perception, and pure perception, rubbish. Throw it out of the window. No such thing as pure perception. Anything you say of perception is contaminated by the perceiver. You know, it's all metaphysics, brahmachari, and somebody else can sit, and the perceiver is the perceived, and there is neither the perceiver nor the perceived.
Observer and observer.
Neither the observer nor the observed, there is only observation.
What is the otherness? He always uses the otherness.
What is the otherness?
Twice less resilience.
It's all sales talk. Sales talk. Otherwise, it won't be in business. It's a business. And it's use humanity, mankind, for your self-aggrandizement. Right like the cow, goes on right in the Samiti is what for? Save the cow or save yourself?
Save myself, make some money, make some money, make
You
some
don't
car,
understand that.
get elected as a representative.
Absolutely, I don't agree with what he said. But why this research is going on psychology nonsense? I mean, why are
Basically, no, that is what studies you see. Like philosophy. No, I'm not condemning that. Please don't get me wrong. I will help her to go to the best institute in America or anywhere in the world.
Only to make a living.
No, you see, the more you know, the more
Better job you get.
better job you get.
You get more money.
Yes,
That's
research is for your
Not into
own.
your memories.
only for that.
Only for that.
You do not believe in what you are doing.
No, you have to believe.
The problem is exactly.
See,
You have to
you have to believe.
believe, others can't do.
See, the more neurotic you are, the more powerful you will
You will
be.
be.
If you have to kill yourself to such an extent. And see, otherwise, you cannot kill others at all.
If you are a skeptic, you can't do anything.
Never.
Never.
Don't trust the skeptics. Burn them and take. Skeptics is just like agnostics. Agnostics don't exist.
But real scientists is a skeptic, I suppose.
No, they don't have the scientific mind. See, that is the unfortunate part. What I told this brahmachari also, you have degrees, you don't have a scientific mind. You don't have the guts. You see, to test that. You see, when that fellow was talking, this Venkatesan, Professor Venkatesan, I see the ashes falling from the picture of
Sai Baba.
Sai Baba. All right, you see. But your colleagues suggested that, you see, test that, you see, ash. You have tremendous means of testing that. You have these laboratories, you have the equipment there. Why you don't have the guts to test that? So he is frightened. You understand? The result of which will, you see, destroy his belief, his faith in the mind.
That's what he was afraid of.
That is what he is afraid of.
It is
So
keepers
that
for
is
that.
why I said Even if I see ashes falling from that, instead of Rajini's picture, whatever his name is, Sai Baba's picture, I will not. I will question that also.
I will.
This is what I told Shanta.
You simply said it is simply not possible.
Not possible
By the natural law.
from the laws that we know of today. This is the basis on which I proceed. Understand? So, if we do not know the divine laws and their nature, which you claim you seem to be in the know of, it is your responsibility not to tell the whole world, these scientists who are pushing the whole of mankind in the direction of total annihilation. Every research is now geared, and progressively moving us all in that direction
Of destruction.
of destruction. So it is your responsibility as a man who is in possession of the divine laws, the nature of which they do not know, I do not know, to help them,
To stop this
not
destruction.
stop, you see, put the whole thing on the right
track.
Right track. That's all. I'm not interested in proving that he is a bogus
Not
man,
publicly, I
that he is
should-
a fraud. I'm not at all interested like this Narsimaya. Narsimaya is another fraud, you see, a theist wants to prove. Not at all. I don't even go anywhere near. So that is exactly the reason why I am condemning J. Krishnamurti is there is nothing there to be transformed. So this certainty I have, there is nothing there to be transformed. So if you talk of transformation, radical or otherwise, you are kidding yourself and kidding all these people. I don't care why. That is why I said in that he has raised the art of self-deception to a fine art.
Yes, that's
And
right.
the trap we see all these people there. So you sit there and talk, and these people, can go on, indulge in any self-deception. But I say from the top of this house that nobody is going to be transformed as a result of either listening to him or that chappy talking for 600. Never. So this is the certainty that I have. Not whether he is a phony or his teaching is a phony believer. That doesn't interest me. They are all empty words as far as I am concerned. Nobody is going to be transformed. How can you have that certainty? Try your luck. Good luck to you. You are not going to get it. You see, that is why I am certain. You are jealous of the world. How can I be jealous? He is not going to transform you. That much I know.
Yes.
So how can I be jealous? I cannot help you to attain moksha, liberation, freedom, and bring about transformation in you. There is some joker there whose teaching will help you. I know that. That is not going to help you because there is nothing there to be done.
Because
That's all.
for decades it is going on.
It can go on for millions of years. I don't care. I am not interested in becoming a cult figure or is the teacher of the mankind. Nothing. I am not interested.
But this is
What I have discovered for myself is something extraordinary. No power on this earth or in the worlds out there can touch.
that is why this has never been contaminated by whatever.
Never. Nothing can touch this. Nothing can contaminate. All millions and millions of years of thing contamination is thrown out. The floodgates were open and everything was thrown out. So nothing can touch it. Even if God comes and stays there and talks, I am divine, you get lost. But you can help that man. So it is in that sense I say, that's why I told Shanta, the story she told.
Yes.
You see, her sister is a great bhakta of Sai Baba.
Sai Baba.
And her prayer she did not tell you. See, I gave one photo to Shanta, which she liked very much. Her sister was sitting there next to her, said, I want a photo exactly like. Exact photo. Where is her come here? So that is the energy, not the physical energy, not the scientific energy, not this energy. The energy of light. Light goes on.
That's why you don't feel that.
Never.
Very strange.
It is not a self-fulfillment. The river flows and flows and flows and flows.
It is not tired.
No, not at all. I can sit here and talk 24 hours. If the body is tired,
it will itself takes
automatically while I am sitting here and talking, there will be a break there and it goes. You don't even notice that. You know?
Eyes are open.
Eyes are open, eyes see nothing. Ears are there.
That's
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, this yoga.
you have
my job. I
recorded enough today.
I won't doing my job.
All day we have been talking today.
Yes.
How many hours? 5?
God knows.
God knows.
So morning I started the very.
Religion is only, I think, or a help. Whatever it is. But finally, I think religion.
What kind of help man is seeking? What do you want? You don't talk in abstract. What do you want?
What's the objective of life?
Maybe the very assumption that the life as an object is wrong. You know, we have been told that this is the object of life. So to make money is the object of life in America, Western countries. But as a matter of fact, they're more spiritual than the people living in the land of spiritual giants. Or here maybe the God realization, self-realization, liberation, freedom, maybe the be-all and end-all of the existence of people. But why should there be any object? Why should we bother ourselves with this question, how to live? That really is the problem, you see. How to live is really the problem. As long as you are bothered about how to live, for whatever reason you cannot live. Because how to live is something which is not in the area of living, it is in the area of thinking. They have provided us with the material, and we are lost in this field of thinking about how to live. The how is really the problem that culture, society, whatever you want to call it, has created for us. And it has turned us into neurotics, wanting two things at the same time. You know? So why should there be any purpose? Why should there be any meaning? Why? But the one who does not see any meaning in life or purpose of life is the one who is asking this question. You know, what is the meaning of life? And then we have to also make very clear to us what do we mean when we talk of life. And these are all the different questions which we are confronted with when we want to consider this question which you are posing to yourself, the object of life. I'm not asking counter questions, but I'm trying to understand what people mean and want to know when they ask this question. What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning of life? What is the object of life? We take it for granted that there is an object, you see, there is a goal to be achieved, attained, and that life has some meaning, you see. So is there any, do you see any meaning? Why you want to find out the meaning if there is any meaning? Why you are not satisfied with the way you are living? Why? I never asked the question because it makes
Sir,
living.
your daughter calls me and
Do you think there is any meaning or purpose in life? What is the purpose of life? Do you think And if you think there is a meaning, why are you asking me? Living is all that is there for me. The moment you say how to live, you have created a problem, a conflict. Either you accept what is imposed on us, or you reject it. I'm not asking counter questions. I want to be very clear about your question. That is why I'm asking counter questions. Series of questions which are more or less the same questions. Variations of the same question. There is only one question, and all the other questions are the variations of the same question. And why do we ask these questions? Where do they come from? The assumption that there is an objective for life, that there is a meaning, there is a purpose. We are not sure. That's why we are asking this question, what's the meaning of life? So, question is born out of the assumption that there must be a meaning, there must be a purpose, because you don't seem to see any meaning or any purpose in it. Question arises only when you find that there is something more interesting, more valuable, more purposeful, more meaningful way of living than the way you are living. You know? Obviously, we are bored with what we are doing. So, is there anything more than this, other than this? That is the question. That is all that is there. Where would that leave us? So you have to tell me if you really think there is meaning or there is no meaning.
See, there has to be some meaning.
Why? They don't say there has to be.
Logically.
No, logically I don't see any reason why there has to be a meaning. That's the most absurd logic that we can think of, you know. Because you don't see any meaning, we say there must be meaning. That is not logical. Do you see that there is no meaning? If there is no meaning, you would commit suicide, jump out of that. You still see that there is something in living. Meaning does not in any way help us to understand anything except to speculate about it, talk about it, think about it. That's all that we can do about the meaning that we logically are concerned with.
Coming to the Hindu culture, they say that the objective of the human is self-realization.
Yes.
That is
You have taken it for granted.
This is one of the thoughts.
All right, we stick to that. It's all right. You see, you have taken it for granted that that is the objective or goal of your life, and you want to realize that self, or whatever it is. And self-realization has become, or you have made that to be your goal. Huh? Am I?
I think to the extent so far, I have met some people.
Yes.
Personally, I am convinced that I think that is the objective.
All right, you see. Then how do you go about it?
Now, that's my.
Huh?
I wish I knew it. How to go. That's why I am here.
No, but those who have told you that there is, you say, and that it is, they are the ones to tell you that. I say that, you see, before you are concerned about the self-realization as the objective or the goal of your life, you have to find out if there is any self there to be realized. That is my question. I see no self to be realized there. If there is no self to be realized, the whole exercise you are thinking or doing anything about it is meaningless. You think there is a self, or you assume that there is a self to be realized.
What we call Atma, soul. An enlightened enlightenment.
We accept so many things, we assume so many things, you see, you know. We believe so many things.
Is it belief only? Is it belief only?
I say it is, and then where does it lead?
See, sorry, interruption. Because he is
So-
talking the heart out
All
of
right,
many people.
no, we are trying to bring the whole thing into a focus. That's what I'm trying
Yes,
to,
yes.
self, soul, Atman, these are all many words. All right, there is such a thing as self. I'm ready to concede for purposes of argument. And then you see, that is found to be a fact for me. Then I would proceed in the direction of realizing that self. Huh? So, how do I
Know that it is.
Huh?
How to know that there is a self?
You know, obviously, it is the knowledge you have of the self that has created the self for you. That's all that I'm trying to point out. You see. So is it possible for you to forget about, you see, the self, you see, or the soul, or whatever you want to call it. The object called self is the one that the knowledge you have that can create the self for you. So the knowledge is not my own. It is passed on to me from generation to generation. So the self is number one word, definition. The knowledge of it is passed on to me from generation to generation. So it is this knowledge that you have of the self that gives you the experience of self. Without knowledge, there is no experience. This is all that I am trying to point out. So that it is this knowledge that creates the self for you. But how can you separate yourself from the self, or the knowledge you have of self, and then deal with the self? I have no way of finding out anything about self except through what I have been told about it. You see, the definitions, the knowledge that is passed on to me from generation to generation, which is born out of the experiences of those people, and the experience confirms the knowledge you have of the self, and the knowledge creates the experience. This is the vicious circle that we are part of it. So we forget about, you see, the self. The self exists where it exists, if it has any point, or whether it is there, where is its location, and all that is not the problem. But if you deal with the simple things like the objects out there, then you see, it will become a lot easier for us to focus on the thing called self. I can say that there is no self, and if there is no self, the whole question of self-realization is absolute nonsense. It's a waste of time, see, to spend a lifetime to realize something that does not exist. So how can I transmit this certainty that I have that there is no self, let alone the realization of self? Whether it is the object of your goal or my goal or the goal of the whole nation. How do I go about it? Is it possible for me to free myself from that knowledge and look at the self? So there is a person who is talking. There is a person who is sitting here. Is it possible for you to know anything about me except the knowledge you have of this thing that is sitting here? Is it possible for you to look at me, let alone know anything about me. Can you physically look at me without the knowledge you have of this person or anything that is there before you? Huh? You say, I am a man, you have a knowledge about man. Is that I have these Indian clothes and not Western clothes, that is also the knowledge. That you see, I am a person who can help you to understand this problem of self-realization. Is based upon an assumption you have that I may be a self-realizing man. You see, so that is also the assumption, but you don't know for sure whether I have realized it myself at all, or anybody for that matter. The claimants we have in the marketplace. So that it is your assumption that tells you that there is a man who has realized himself, so he is talking to you about this self-realization. It is becoming too complicated. So how do I go about this? See, somebody says that this is the way the room should be arranged. This object here should be there